Okay, how we doing out there? First things first. My name is Kenneth Bird. I'm the creator of Supreme Ambient Light Rejection Screen Paint using ambient light rejection technology gain. They were trying something new in streaming, so I put in some restrictions. All right, so I am going to be talking some more about the blue ambient light rejection screen paint that we have actually is doing its final test today, because today we got good weather. We got a nice sunny day out today, no rain, none of that today. So that means we can get outside today and start doing some of the outside testing which is needed for this technology. There will be a pre-order date set up once we get everything somewhat finalized with the attorneys. As I told you before, that I went in, contacted an attorney about basically getting a patent pending, trademark secrets attached to it, and also to copyrights for certain things for the product. This is something completely, we have had this technology before, way back in 2014. But like I said, if you look at the difference between the two, the one in 2014 was very light, kind of sky blue. This is an actual near blue screen. I've gotten multiple inquiries from companies last night asking for information about the technology, especially using for 3D effects. I'm going to be using it for a form of 3D mapping, which I have been actually working on some software over there later on at night, and to see exactly how the application can be used for other things besides outdoor projection, indoor projection, for other applications. So right now, on Monday morning, I have to be up, virtual call with my attorney to start working on the paperwork to get this up and going. Just showing you the screen in a different light. Usually I have it over there in the other room. Now I have it over here. We can see that the screen physically is blue, because usually over there it looks like it's gray. But over here, and just to give you an idea, this is my comforter, my blue comforter, to show you how close to blue it comes to. So I'll toss that right there to show you how close it comes to the blue comforter right there. And this is my gray pillows. I sleep on gray and blue. It's kind of funny. Just to show you how when I put the gray pillow against it, how blue that screen is compared to a gray screen. Just to give you an idea on how blue the screen is. So yeah, so let me get tidied up here. And then I had to paint I'm actually painting this screen right here. I'm going to convert this today into a blue screen because I need a large screen in here now of that application, since I am going to be doing some a lot of advertising off of it until we get to that point where we can actually start doing pre-orders. And then I had to paint the other test version of it, which is actually behind that screen, that has to be coated and taken outside. Now, as for the extreme black, because a lot of people asking for the extreme black, we'll go into the same thing. No, not really, because extreme black is really basically, it's a 12. It's a blacker version of a 12. For those of you who wanted a super black screen, that's what the extreme black is. It just basically just has a much higher contrast than the actual 12. So that one actually is going to proceed, and it will launch on probably somewhere around that week, next week. That one will launch. But this one right here, no. We had to pull the strings on this one. This one had to be pulled back. It had to be. You know, I've showed the inquiry to a few people, and they said I would be a complete idiot if I had launched that screen paint without having that paperwork attached to it. So after you saw the demonstration yesterday, like I said, I really can't test it against other screens because it's blue. So just out of curiosity, throwing some sample sheets, some high performance screens up there, just seeing how they stack up and react to it. And, you know, you saw what you saw. So I'm just going to leave it at that, you know, because quite frankly, you know, if I'm doing this against a black screen, and black screens are known in common, you know, a company would actually say, well, you know, hey, it's a black screen, blah, 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 blah. You know, they know once they're going to run across a black screen. They're eventually going to run across one of them. But a blue screen, they're not. And that they can argue about a little bit by saying, like, look, you know, our technology wasn't designed for that. You know, it's a blue screen. It doesn't fit in the category of any form of screen, paint, or projection screen. So, yeah, it could be a bit of a vantage point there on our technology over that. So, you know, that could come up in the conversation. So that's why I kind of just put up there and just go, well, look, this is just how it is. That's all. You know. So let me get tidied up a little bit. Y'all can start the blue screen if you want. You can leave out of the room. It's up to you on how you want to do it. It's early in the morning. Pretty sure you got things to do, you know. But just popping on early to start getting some things ready for the outside. And I'm going to be doing a paint-on demonstration of the big boy screen behind me to get that set up. I had to make sure I had twist ties so I can put it back up because that screen is so big. I have to move furniture around just to get it off the freaking radiator box and bring it down so I can basically coat it. So we're going to be using 1 quart to paint a 126-inch screen. So this gives me an idea of a bigger screen for coverage. So I've already did an 80-inch. I did a 90-inch right here, 16.9. And then we're going to do a 126-inch with 1 quart. And see how much coverage we get out of that too, because that's very important to see. All right, so let me go throw some socks on. So it added some restrictions, and with the streaming, I didn't want to do it, but you know, I really don't get a lot of people who comment me back on streaming. Like, I don't get a lot of people comment me back. And I have a few people come in and go, hey, Ken, so and so and so. Most of my communications through calls and emails and stuff like that, or people contact me on Facebook like that. So I don't get a lot of calls back and a lot of customers contacting me too much on back and forth. So I said, why do we even have it? The Crow Boys just use it just to carry on and act up. So sometimes when a child does not know how to act right, you have to take something from them. And that's pretty much what it did. So you figure it probably will hurt me, but it doesn't, because at the end of the day, like I said, people are doing business with me. Do not care about the comments. They don't care about the likes or dislikes. All they care about is the performance of the technology. That's it, because they're buying it. When I go in and I was checking out some videos on 3D mapping, and a few people had some really good videos out there. I mean, some really good videos. I mean, they weren't big YouTubers and all. They had some really good videos. I got a lot of good information out of that on how to go about doing this. And some of them had a lot of dislikes on them. Some of them had bad comments said about them. People made nasty gestures to them. But I didn't care about the dislikes, and I really didn't care about basically who said what about them. All I cared about was what that man was talking about on that screen and on that video, and what I needed to know from him to get started. That's all I cared about. So that's how people have to understand it. That's how some people will perceive your videos. They really don't care about comments. They don't care about the likes or dislikes. All they care about is the knowledge that you're giving off that video. And that's all that's important at the end of the day, is that you get that knowledge and obtain it and use it for something. So this fellow I saw on YouTube, he was on there for 4 years ago, and I guess people just didn't like him. You know, just nasty comments. But the information that he gave me such a good understanding on where I need to go when I start exploring 3D projection mapping, which I want to get into. Because if I develop black technology, which allows you to cloak things, why shouldn't I be involved in 3D mapping? Because most of the stuff I saw was either gray or white surfaces, which are not good. You know what I mean? If you've seen by some of the demonstrations we do. So that's what I've been working on. And then next after that, once I get that down packed, then I'm going to start studying Warp software, and that will teach me to be able to manipulate screens for basically designing gaming simulators, driving simulators, stuff like that. That's what I've been kind of working on. All right, so I am going to be doing a tutorial today also for the fellow who was asking about the vertical projection stand that I have in the theater room, that he wanted to know how to have a projector shoot upward. So it's a pretty easy stand to build, you know, and I built it out of scraps of wood that I found in my shop. It's very easy to build. It's like the equivalent of a magazine rack, if you would think of it. It's a magazine rack with a little table at the bottom. So I'll show you that right now, so we can get that out of the way first, okay? So let's come over here. This is the in here working on the program, tweaking the program I got for 3D mapping, which I cannot wait to get into that. I actually ordered a high performance 4K camera, which I need. And I'm not worried about the projector. From some of the projectors I saw in some of these demonstrations for 4K mapping, a lot of them were knockoffs. And they got pretty good picture, but they could have got a lot better. All right, so this is a stand right here. that I'm using to project an image onto the ceiling. And the ceiling's coated with black technology, as you all know. All right, so when I built this stand, I had to make it so the projector could fit on these little tables here and here that will lift it up probably about that far off the platform. And that would allow any of the cables and wires to be able to dangle freely without basically being mashed down and being damaged. So as you can see, there's a little pocket area down here at the bottom that allows you to be able to have your wires and cables and all that stuff hanging down. So what we're going to do is we're going to remove the projector out of it, and you'll see, get this down a little better so I don't damage my projector in the process of doing this. All right, and you'll see that when I built it, it's like a magazine rack. The back of it just has, this thing is a little better. All right, so the back of it basically just has a piece of strip of wood cut here, and here, and here, and here, like you make a little, like you're doing a projection screen, right? I got to do blueprints on this because it's going to be, I don't think some people are going to look at this and figure this out. Some people can, some people won't. So all you want to do is basically, you're just building a cradle for your projector. That's all you want to do. So it's kind of like if you put a wall here and a wall here, right? You build a little stand here, like a little one piece here, like, okay, put it this way, fastest way to do it. You know how you build a wooden projection screen frame? You know, it's 4 pieces of wood. Take 4 pieces of wood right here, 4 pieces of wood right here, and then in the middle, right here, you just stack 2 extra pieces here. 2 extra pieces here. Because this is the lift that allows you to be able to lift the projector up so it doesn't, so it has a little room down here for your cables and wires. Now, if you don't want to put the same thing on this side, on that side, then all you would have to do is just take 1 piece of wood and just put it in the middle. You just want something to secure it so the projector doesn't fall over. That's all you want this for. But if you take 4 pieces of wood, like you build a frame, put it at the bottom, right? Put it here at the side. Take 2 pieces of wood for the bottom to make it the base, and then on the side, right here, you just you just stack the wood, cut little pieces off to measure the same length as the bottom, and you can put it 1, 2, 3, 4. You can put 1, 2. It's up to you on how you want to do it. I just put these on the end just to make it look a little more flashy, you know what I mean, cover up the little areas here and here, but you don't have to have that there. You don't have to have the corner pieces here. It's all it is just basically like building a magazine rack. That's what it is. So all it is so that you have your frame piece built here, 4 pieces of wood, like a frame. You want to make sure, if you keep in mind, you want to measure how wide your projector is going to be as you build this, because your projector could be wider than mine. Mine, I actually had to measure it by setting it down on the wood first, the platform first, to see exactly how far I had to bring the platform out before I started building into it, because to see how wide the projector is. But it's basically all it is. So it's kind of like if you're building a frame for a projection screen, instead of taking this piece of wood here on the bottom, you just reverse it and just put it on the outside as I have it out here. That's it. That just makes the projector fit more snug right there. And then at the bottom, you have your 2 bases of wood at the bottom for your platform right there. And then on your platform, you just take several pieces of wood and cut them to make your height. So when your projector fits in it, remember you have to measure your projector like so. Let me grab this. I don't want to damage this. Ooh, got too far over. Sorry about that. Gotta bring this over some. See? So when my projector sits in here, make sure I got everything here correctly, because I don't want anything. Hold on for a minute. I gotta put you on my stand real quick. Make sure I got nothing. All right. Now, there we go. Now I can show you the rest of it. So, what you have here is, with this piece here, right, this allows for, in the stand here, this allows for your wires to come out through the bottom, right here. So you have your wires that are free right here. Nothing's pressing, nothing's bending, you're not causing any damage to your ports. Because the last thing you want is to have this thing pressing against your ports, and your ports get loose and the solder's detached from the ports from the main board, and your screen's flickering on and off because the ports are loose. So that's why you have this at the bottom, this area right here, and that's why you put these stands right here to keep the projector elevated. And then you have this one piece in the front. Now you can use two if you want. Like the same thing I'm using here, you can use that way. I use the one because it's easier for the wires to come out here and here. And then in the back, inside, right here. Like I said, you got to measure all this out. I got it where I can get to my buttons, I can get to my controllers. You don't want to make it too high, because if you make it too high, then you can't get to shifts and all that stuff you need to get to zoom and all that. You're going to make it just enough so it's right under this right here. So I can get to all this right here, the remote control, all that. And once that's done, like I said, very easy to put together. I think I took pictures of blueprints on how to put it together. I did pictures of 2 of them. I had one where I had a projector built where it was hanging over the side of the deck and it was projecting downward, and I took I was going to take a wooden picnic table and I was going to cover the top of it with a screen paint so we could watch movies on the picnic table while we ate. But I never got around to finishing the project. But I did build a stand. I think I have blueprints of it. So I think I'm going to put those pictures on my Facebook fan page where you can go in and basically look at them. This is picture by picture by picture showing you how to put the whole thing together. So that's pretty much it. It's like it's like a magazine rack. That's what it is, with supports on the bottom. And boom, it just hits the ceiling and you're done. Now keep in mind, once it hits the ceiling, you may have to adjust it with a little keystoning or corner keystoning, depending on where you have the projector position. Where my projector's at, if I try to stick it in the middle of the floor, it's going to hit the side of the wall. So I got to push it all the way over, just like if this screen was against the wall, in order to fill out the top area. Also too, keep in mind, if you're doing this, you're going to have to go short throw. That's the short throw projector in there. A short throw projector is the only thing that's going to give you a screen that big from that distance. If you try to go with ultra short throw, it's not going to work at all. That's not going to work with an ultra short throw projector. And if you try to do it with a long throw projector, well, you're just going to get this little tiny screen, but the size of a 50-inch, maybe a 40, right in the center of your ceiling. So it has to be a short throw projector only. Let me, but I'm going to check my phone because I'm pretty sure I took pictures of me building it. And if not, what I'll do is I'll build me another one. And I'll do a tutorial on how to put it together if you couldn't get it from there. What I just explained to you, which I hope you did, but then again, all right, so let's go back to the blue here. There we go. All right, so I'm just tidying up, getting things in order because I'm painting this screen today. You get a chance to see that. I just have to get everything ready because I have to move, disconnect cables and cords and stuff because I have UV lights under my sofa, which reminds me, I got to replace the UV lights under my sofa. So you get a chance to see that too today. So my lights on this side of my sofa shorted out somehow, and now they're white on that end. So I bought new lights. They've been over there. These are the new lights I just purchased for myself. And these right here are perfectly fine. It's those over there that are damaged. So those are going to have to be redone. So I ordered me a box of these. Now these are fantastic. See this box right here? This is a huge box. You get 4 sets of 16 in this box right here for $27. If you go on Amazon and you see anything with a red tag on it and it has a little timer going off on the side, that's a special promotion. You might want to jump on those. That's why I got my 4K camera for, and not the, this is for my computer because I need it for the video mapping. I got it for around $38. Got it for a really good price. Huge slash off. Ugh. So I'm gonna move all my stuff out of here. Just disconnect the whole thing. We're done with it, but no. Today, I'm gonna get up and finally shave. I got shaved today. Freaking caveman. Believe it or not, I gotta move all this stuff. Oh, and even crazier, I gotta send my ViewSonic projector back. So you might not even see any videos for the next couple of days on that screen because my ViewSonic projector started flickering last night. And that's not a good sign. Usually, if your projector's making this little flickering on the screen, that means your lamp is about to go. That shouldn't be a problem. That's a brand new projector in there. So, somewhere along the line, something's not right. So I called Amazon already. And since I didn't have it that long, they're going to actually refund the money back to my account. So don't bother refunding it. Send me a shipping return label. You guys can come pick it up and ship me out another one, which they're going to ship me out another one. Because I shop on Amazon just about every day. That's why I got shopping on a day. Just about every day. But yeah, if your screen starts flickering, like a light little flickering to it, that's your lamp. Your lamp's about to go. That's how you know. That's the first warning sign before you get that little indicator that pops up on your projector saying, hey, look, you may want to change me because I'm about to go. That's the first sign. If you see a lamp flickering like that, that means your lamp is about to go. That'll go off before your warning sign will go off. I've replaced a lot of lamps and I know exactly what that is. When I bought the Panasonic projector, it was flickering like crazy. I'm like, yeah, lamp needs to be replaced. I'm not replacing a lamp for that thing because I know it's going to be expensive. That is a short throw lens. Short throw lamps are expensive. Unless you get a really old projector. All right, so I'm in here removing stuff out of the room, as you can see, because I have to move my sofa. Because keep in mind, that's 120 inch. Oopsie, zipper was down my throat. That's not 100 inch. That's 100, not 120. It's 126 inch screen sitting in that window, and it's borderless, which means it makes it approximate. Because it was 126 inch with the border. Those screens do come with a border. Just to let you know, it's an Elite screen. They do come with borders. The borders are this thin. When I pull down that screen, you'll see a difference. Because usually, the Elite screens, when people build a screen, what they do is the material basically snaps to the back of the screen. The borderless screens are different. The material wraps over the frame, making it borderless, and then you get these little tiny thin strips of border. They're made out of plastic, and they kind of connect onto the side of the screen to give you this really thin kind of frame. It's a very thin frame that comes with it, but you have the option of keeping it or taking it off. They do give you the option. I don't know why they call it borderless if it has a thin little frame, because borderless means it has no frame at all. But yeah, that's one of their other screens, the Aeon or Eon, or I forgot the name that the screen, what they call it, but it's a newer one. I bought two of them when they came out. So let me see. I am going to need scissors. I can use a knife to tell you the truth, honestly. I can use a knife. And this screen is using very heavy zip ties to support the frame. So it's not heavy, but man, to pull it off from that height, it is a bit heavy. All right, so we got some pillows, we got everything else moved out of the way. Let's get all this out of here. I gotta go downstairs and get the surface, paint the screen on. Is that done? Early in the morning when I get up, no eggs, no cereal, no orange juice, no milk, none of that. I got all stuff in the refrigerator. First, when I get up, I say my prayers to my Lord, thanking for blessing me to see another day. Then I pop to work. I'm in work right now. So, and you're like, well, why do you do that? Because I love what I do. It's like Christmas every morning. I couldn't wait to paint the screen. I was like, man, I can't wait till the next day. It was too late to do the screen. If I could have done that screen that night, I'd have done it that night. But that was too late. Most of y'all be in bed. So there's no point in doing it. All right. Now we gotta show you what's going on over here, because I'm probably curious to hear me moving back and forth like, what you doing over there? All right, so she got a craziness I gotta go through. What you got on? I'll do both screens. I paint both of them. I'll do both of them. Okey-dokey. All right, so downstairs trying to figure out exactly where's my cloth at, because I had to put something down for the floor. Trying to figure out where that was at. Down in the basement. And I had to make some of the product. So that's my neighbor next door starting up his lawnmower. I'll tell you something about these neighbors next door. They're pretty cool. They're not bad people. Gets every morning, cuts his lawn. Really good Joe. Before I leave from here, I'm gonna set him up with the ultimate home theater package. Something real nice for him and the kids. He's been a real cool guy. Never had any problem with him. Minds his own business. Doesn't say anything to me. Bit high and by. And that's how I like it, back and forth. Really cool dude. quite frankly, they think I hate them, but I don't. I like them pretty much. They're pretty good. I just stay to myself. I don't talk to them. So before I leave, probably going to set them up with a $10,000 theater system. Every place when I leave, before I go, I always give the neighbors something nice. The neighbors I lived from before, I gave the guy a projection screen and projector. So usually I take some stuff with me, but some of the stuff I just keep. But this guy's a really, really nice guy. So I'm gonna set him up with some screens for the inside and outside, speakers, gaming systems, whatever they want. I'm gonna set them up real nice. Real cool people. All right, let's see where we go from here. Well, we gotta move all this stuff out of the way because we gotta get the screen out the window. So let's disconnect this. Oh, man, I'm telling you, I gotta turn the heat down. This house runs off radiator heat. I love radiator heat. Unfortunately, the house I will be purchasing will not have radiator heat. I love radiator heat. Radiator heat is the best. I mean, you gotta bleed your pipes every so once in a while, but man, once those things get kicking, they get kicking. I turn it down either. Oh, that's interesting to talk about too, real quick. Those of you wondering about the paint cracking or peeling, you do know my screen sits on top of a radiator, right? The heat shoots from the back of my screen. So if you look at the screen, it doesn't crack or peel, even though there's heat shooting from the back of my screen. So, you know, radiators go up, but keep in mind, my radiator box in the back has a gap about that big. So that means any heat that's hitting the wall pushes up behind the back of the screen and comes out also to the front. So my screen is sitting on top of a radiator. And a huge one at that, you know what I mean? All right, so I'm gonna pull this one out. First, cables and stuff. I'll disconnect. I need to do this because I need to be able to get this, navigate the screen in and out where it needs to be at. I'm not worrying about where to paint it at. This is 126. I painted a 135 in here. Painting a 135-inch screen is a big screen to paint. This little area. People are going to say, oh, but where your screen crack or peel, it's sitting on top of a radiator. The back of my screen is probably hot, and keep in mind, these are aluminum frame screens. That means that metal is heating up on the back of my screen. This screen right here sits behind a window. When the sunlight comes through and hits the side of this screen, even though I got black material on it, it doesn't do any good. When I walk past the screen, I can feel the heat coming off that screen from the sun hitting the window and the heat piercing through that screen. So in the center of that screen, heat is constantly pushing through because there's a large window on the side of my house. And then introduce all that with the radiator heat in the house itself. So yeah, they can take their damage. They can take it. Hello, giant screen. Today I shall paint you blue. You should be blue today. Woo! To match your lights and the ceiling and all that good stuff. Yes. All right, let's go grab the couch, the sofa, move this. I need just enough room to be able to navigate the screen once I yank it off the wall. Now, if you don't have anyone home to help you do this, get 2 chairs. That's the best thing to do. That's the best helper you can get is 2 chairs to pull a giant screen off a wall. That screen is actually set up with using zip ties. All right, so come in. Take the one. How much I gotta go through, just paint a screen. Put this in the kitchen. Kitchen. We have to remove this and take this into the other room. So you get out of the room. All right. I have no idea what that was I just stepped on, but I hope it wasn't anything expensive. All right. Actually, behind you, it's always behind the sofas, always the dirtiest. All right, let's grab 2 chairs. Let me get this out of the way because I'm not working on this right now. I'll be back to this later on today. Let's see. 2 chairs. Now you want to make sure when you put the chairs there, it's an interesting way how you have to set your chairs, even down to your chairs. Hold on for a minute, I'll be back. Grab another one. All right. That's when people tell me, oh, like, how do you paint? I've painted so many screens live, it's not even funny. So, I'm doing right now. All right, so. When you set your chairs up, to remove your screen off, because you're going to be, if you're doing this by yourself, you want to make sure that the chair backings are here and here. I've made this mistake multiple times. But this time, I plan to get it right this time. So, the reason why the backings are that way, so when I lift this thing off, it's going to land here and here, and that allows me to get a grip underneath of it to pick up the screen and to carry it where it needs to go, right? Because it's coming off this high-end area right here. All right, if you put the ends this way, that means when you bring the screen down, you're going to have to lift it up even higher just to get over the back end of the chair. Unless you're going to trip the chairs up from underneath, or you have them hit the ground and hold the screen at the same time. That becomes a bit of a headache. Or if you take the chairs and you push them this way, now you have them blocking the screen, because now you got to lift the screen even higher just to get it over the back end of the chairs. You see what I mean? So having them laying flat here and here can mean the difference of you not having a hard time lifting that thing off the stand or wherever you may have it at. And I've used this for doing motorized projection screens too. I have the motorized screen actually hitting on the chair here while I bracket here, and then bring it up and put it up on the other end. Works both ways. But you don't want to make sure your chair is here, because if your chair is this way, now you're going to have to lift up your screen even higher, and you don't have enough ceiling to clear the chair. See what I mean? That becomes a headache for you. If you do it this way, which most people do, and I have done this one myself, that becomes another headache. Because now when you bring the chair down, you got that backing in the way. You're going to have to trip out the chair from underneath of it to hit the ground, damage your chair, just to pull the screen to clear the chair. So how you want to set it is this way. All right, so let's get the clipping. It's hot back here. It is hot. Okay, we're gonna clip. I'm gonna clip this one. You hear me constantly saying, "Hey, Brandon, what you got on?" I got the. I don't know if anyone's ever seen the Invisalign braces, and they have the kids on there. And the girl says, "Hey," and people are always asking what I have on. I got that thing stuck in my head now. I have a friend of mine. She's a good adult. She looks just like the girl who said, "What you got on?" I can tease her when we're on Xbox Live on PS4. Like, what you got on? All right. That's my radiator. Back and forth. Come back here. I'm going to clip this little line right there. All right, so let's show you how my screen's hanging up, what I'm using to hang my screen. So now what I want to do is to push my chairs as close as possible. Disconnect my cables. There's a cable to the ceiling, but still, I don't want those coming down and hitting. And then what I'm going to have to do, before I do all this, yanking this off, let me move you guys back. Because I'm going to have enough room to bring this in and place it somewhere. So probably going to put it here against the 100-inch. So let me get this moved out of the way. Make sure I got enough to clear. Chairs back. Now, see what I mean? Now with that clearing the radiator already, now I can just put my hand up under there and just bring it forward. That's it. That's the beautiful thing. Because you don't have, if you're living by yourself, or maybe your wife is not home, she's out taking care of some business, or you don't trust your kids with your screen or whatever it may be. It's an easier way of getting it off the frame, or getting it wherever you have it at, without damaging it or anything like that. So let's see what something gets caught on something. Let me see. Pretty sure I disconnected everything. And these screens are pretty lightweight, so take the second one, put it down like so, and then grab the other one, boom, on the floor. Woo! I forgot how much sunlight came through this window, man. Kind of got a bit of a Dracula mode going on. I'm not used to seeing this much light come through. I mean, this place is bright enough as it is, but, whew, man. Okay. So let's move on from there. All right, so let me see. I'm going to have to do a little maneuvering here. Enough room. Got enough room now. There we go. Shuffle. Projection screen shuffle. All right, let me see what we got going on here. Roll this out of the way. At least I got a place to put it. Then we'll push it back. There we go. It's not a heavy screen. It's just it's a wide screen. It's a wide screen. It's not wider than the 138, but it's a wide screen. All right. Whew. Man, I gotta clean up in here. So, same system. When you're putting it back up, it's the same thing. Now, I'll show you how my screen is hanging up on that platform. All right, so you see these little hooks right there, little loop screws? That's how I'm attaching it. So we got a loop screw here. We got a loop screw there. Take some heavy zip ties, put a nice loop in there. Now the back of your screen, you will have these right here. They'll come free with your screen. These little pieces like that. They're for hanging it up on the wall. They slide back and forth, you know, so you can adjust it to your wall. You put your little heavy ties right in there. And you just, when you loop it through that loop screw and you tighten it in place. So the screen is anchored up. So that's how I do it. Make sure it's not hitting anything. So it's a easy way to set it up. What I gotta do now, the little tricks you learn down through time. You know, you've been in this business a while, you learn little tricks on how to make your job easier. And like I said, the reason why I learned these little tricks is making a ton of mistakes. So I had to make mistakes in order to learn better ways on how to do this. like having the chairs facing outward, where I figured out once I pulled this giant screen off the wall or wherever I had it, I got to lift it over the chairs now. So I made a mistake there, but I learned from that. And that's what I said. That's why it's very important to do tests on your technology, because you're going to have some flaws that may pop up, but these are areas that can be fixed through testing to make the screen perform better. If you're rushing your tests, rushing your demonstrations, and you're doing these fast, just to throw it out there without doing these demonstrations, and anything could fail along the line, and you have no way to back it up or have no way to basically fix it why the damage is done, because you didn't do the test properly. It's like, how many of you right now who are driving would trust buying brakes from a company who's did their tests half and half on their brakes? Would you buy from them? No, you wouldn't buy from them at all. Because you get your family, you get your friends in the car, and those brakes have to freaking work. And that's why they have to be tested over and over and over again, again. So they can basically come out there and say, hey, look, we put our brakes through this much testing, this, that, so and so and so and so and so. And that gives you the confidence to go out and get it, because they went through all this vigorous testing. But you go to the test facility like, nah, we just showed them off, did a few crash demonstrations, threw them in the box with some pretty designs, and voila, there you go. And you're going to go see your grandmother, and she lives up on an inclined hill, and your brakes don't work. So you figure it out. That's why testing is very important. That's why I have all those old projectors. That's why I have all those sample sheets and all that stuff, because I need to know. I need to know. Those tests have to be done. All right, so now we got all that clear. Let's go in and get ready to start doing the painting, the fun part of it all. Put my sofas back. I'm gonna have a little more room in here. My neighbor sees me outside with a camera in my hands. I go, that's the only person, two people I know that I record like that. The rest of them don't know anything. So he's like, oh, you must be doing a demonstration. He's a pretty cool guy. I usually pick, when I move to a neighborhood, I only pick like 2 people that I'll speak to. That's it. I don't talk to anybody else after that. There's no point. I don't want to be bothered. I'm not saying I'm not a neighborly person. It's just that I don't want to be bothered. Because the thing about it is, if I'm recording in the back, I don't want my neighbor going, hey, what you doing? Blah, blah, blah. And I'm trying to record a video. Nope. I just want to be I'll leave you alone, leave me alone. Basically, it's a high and by. And I think he's established that it's a high and by friendship. That's it. If it's something that I don't need, like I might bought an extra projection screen, and I'll pop over and say like, hey, how you doing, Chief? What's up? I'm like, you want a projection screen and a projector? Like, sure. And I send it over to him. Like, here you go. Just pass it over the gate from a distance. And he picks him. He goes, my man. And goes in the house. That's it. That's the end of it. That's the end of it. That's the end of the day. We don't talk no more after that. I can walk outside and don't say a thing to him. Nothing at all. And he respects that. And he can go outside and work on his lawn, and I'll say nothing to him. I like that kind of friendship. Asking me 100,000 questions on what the freak I'm doing in my day, and I'm pretty sure he doesn't want to be bothered. I like people like that. Hey, Brandon, what you got on? I was saying that all freaking day yesterday online. Like, what the freak are you saying? Why do you keep saying like, yeah, I'll show you. I'll send it to your phone. All right. Let's get a surface out here. And we're painting on. Man, if I get this video mapping, like if I get it down packed to where I want it, oh my goodness, you have no idea the stuff I'll be able to design with this stuff. Black technology and video mapping? Oh my goodness. Yeah, man. You think I built some wild stuff now, man. This will bring me off the screen. I'll literally be able to come off the screen and design some crazy stuff, man. Some crazy stuff. I might even start customizing a special screen paint for 3D mapping. Oh man, I got some ideas going through my head. So, God be will that He'll give me the knowledge. But after what I've seen, you know, it's already blessed me with enough knowledge to be able to get the basics. I'm not going to be on a professional level. Very, very basic level. Just learning. Getting my feet wet. All right, so got our surface right there. Let's go grab something to pad the back of the screen. Strangers in the night, exchanging glances. So, before the pre-order launch date, I'm going to be quite busy because I am going to be making about 80 gallons of this stuff. I've already started putting in my orders already, what I need to do to get as much of this as possible. So yeah, I'm stocking up big time because this is going to sell quite fast. So see boxes coming in for containers and containers and containers and containers. That's what. If you see my email account right now, you would understand. All right, so first things first, sorry about this, but I'm able to feed my squirrels in about 4 days because their food got delayed. So I'm gonna set all this up, put everything down, throw on some kicks and a hoodie, go out and feed my buddies. Get them taken care of. And then my cat out front, because I got a cat, 2 neighborhood cats that I feed that one of the cats right now yesterday got close enough to let me touch him, but just don't trust me yet. So hopefully I can get him in before the winter time. If I can't get him before the winter time, I'm just gonna go up to Amazon and pay for some of them houses. They got these houses that you can plug up, got a little heating pad in there where the cat can go in, sit down and be warm. So I'll get 2 of those and I'll send them up a little high so they can get up in there and get nice and warm. I got good thing blessed that I got an outlet in front of my house so I can plug them up over there for them. So, but if I can get them to trust me, and I can take them down to the SPCA, get his shots, license, and all that other good stuff, and we'll have a good home. So I have somebody, hook them up. Go over Amazon, buy them a whole lot of junk. Okay, that's me trying to rescue 2 stray cats in the neighborhood. If I can get both of them to trust me. One's actually black and white on Crystal Edge. Anyway, so let me, this is all done here. I'm going to pad the screen, got the paint, got the roller over there. And for those of you who've been worrying about asking me what kind of rollers to use, as I said before, I buy my rollers from Dollar Tree or Dollar General. I don't care. As long as it's cheap, I don't got to spend a lot of money for them because I'm just going to dip it in paint. It's not going to make a difference. Some people think if you have a special roller, it's going to make the paint apply better. It's going to be the same thing. You just watch me. For those who did watch me paint the other screen, I painted that screen in the most awkward way ever. I mean, I had used it as a paint pan. I had blobs of paint all over the screen. I used a sock to paint in the corners and stuff. And that screen came out looking fantastic. So, like I said, it's to show that you can't mess it up. It's virtually impossible unless you stand in the middle of your screen and let it dry that way. That's the only way. One of these days, when I get a chance to invest in a GoPro, I'll take you out back to see the squirrels. All right, so I'll come back in about a minute. Dude, just taking care of me. If you want to stick around, stick around. No, it's up to you. You know, you can always go back and rewind the video. All right, let me go get some kicks. Where's my sneakers at? Never find some. Two places sneakers always got to be at. Either in the workshop or it's upstairs in the gaming room. And it's upstairs in the gaming room. That's where they're at. Last time I thought that was with Ida. How the flowers grow. One day, when I'm home, I'll feel and the way it looks tonight. All right, you little squirrelies. Not job, you squirrelies. I got you. All right. All right, so I guess I'll share this with you. I always like to share a little of what I do sometimes in my morning. So I'm going to show you what we do. So this started off when COVID first hit. And my company slowed down completely. Because, you know, I didn't know what was going to happen. I didn't know if my company was going to go out of business. I didn't know what was going to happen at all. But I knew that God had everything in control. So, I ain't got the peanuts today. We wouldn't have used them today. We don't get the peanuts. Usually mix them with peanuts because that's the treat. So anyway, in my 1 month of having a slowdown, I basically started feeding this squirrel. Oh, I'm in the wrong section. Started feeding this little squirrel. This squirrel would pop up on my porch, my deck every day. And he had a little patch behind the back of his ear. And he would eat. I gave him a little bread every morning. He'd come in and just start coming in every morning, getting bread. Every single morning. And it just became somebody I was just used to seeing. Come in, get his bread, he'd sit down and eat for a little bit, and he'd go on. And bit by bit every day he got a little more comfortable with me, to the point where I used to have a table out there and I was sitting with my feet kicked up on the table eating a sandwich, watching some Bob's Burger on my phone, and this little joker was sitting right there on the table. So I gave him a little piece of bread and he ate right there with me. So I thought, you know what? I'm going to hook up this whole area. At the time I was thinking about hooking up the whole entire area, putting the screen up there. And I can't have squirrels up there because then later on he started coming back with his friends. And one day there was 4 or 5 of them on the porch. So I'm thinking, okay, I got to put some place where they can eat at. So I started feeding them down below. And I was giving them bread, and a friend of mine said, stop giving them bread because sometimes it's not good for their stomachs. Get them something nice, more healthier. So I went online, did some research, and that's where I started finding this kind of food like this and how it's made, mixing together like bird seeds and corn and stuff like that. But I noticed that every time I would buy their food, they would put like 2 or 3 peanuts in there. And they really love peanuts. The birds all love peanuts. So what I did was I started going online. I started going to these Whole Foods food stores that I can get a discount and buying these big sacks of peanuts so I can mix the peanuts with the food. But then they started charging me too much for this too. So I started, going through what's in there, dry corn, sunflower seeds, and I started buying like pounds of what I need. That's what's coming in next. It's just for the time being. I make my own freaking mix for them and take it out there and feed them. So I've been feeding them, and now I've noticed in my yard, I got squirrels, I got blue jays, I got red robins, I got woodpeckers. I've seen a red-tailed hawk land in my yard at one time. One time, a hawk. Didn't kill anything. Came in, ate, took off. Amazing, freaking amazing. All different kinds of birds. So if you notice, you don't hear anything, right? But the minute I feed them in the background, it sounds like Jumanji back there. It's like all the kinds of noises are going off. Yeah, because they all go to my yard and eat. So now it's got to be a thing where this is what I like to do. I like to go out there and feed my birds and my animals and take care of them and all like that. So the woman who's actually getting this house, within her contract of the house, she got to go feed them birds. But she don't mind because her kids, those are my god kids. I know I'm going a long story here. My god kids are allergic to animals. Can't have a dog, can't have a cat, none of that. So I've had all that when I was coming up. So I thought it'd be nice to build me a nice professional little sanctuary over there for the animals that they can interact with. They can feed them like they're going to have their own pets. And I'll put in some closed circuit cameras so I can Wi-Fi that upstairs to their bedroom, and they can watch them in their habitat on these TVs in their room. So I thought that'd be something cool for them, So it's kind of interesting how all that started from me feeding one squirrel. Yeah. So I was kind of, upset because I feed them every day. And some of y'all have seen them on camera. One of them actually coming across here, and they'll bang on the glass. A lot of them not they'll tap, tap, tap on the glass. Or they'll sit real close to the house, letting me know like, hey, look, buddy, I'm hungry. We're waiting out here. Where you been? My food got delayed, so I couldn't feed them. So I was kind of bummed out for a couple of days because I like feeding them. It's kind of like almost become my pets. I ordered a couple of big bags. They're going to be coming in. And this is what it really is right here. See, I only put a couple of peanuts in there. That's it. They love peanuts. So what I do is I buy extra peanuts and mix them in there. But my peanuts won't be in until the 14th, or it won't be until a little later. And if I have to, I'll go to another Whole Foods store and I'll put out more money and get more of them. And then at nighttime, we have the night show. Because at nighttime, when these jokers all go in, then something else comes through the back door, which is pretty cool. Because one day I sat back there with the ghillie suit and some night vision, and I was just testing out some of my equipment. And I seen some stuff come through the yard. I'm thinking, oh yeah, I'll never build anything down here ever again. And I saw foxes, possums, raccoons, a lot of freaking raccoons, skunks. I saw a deer, but it couldn't go to the gate. It was actually right near the edge of the gate. And I'm sitting here tucked in that corner with that ghillie suit on, night vision, and I'm watching all this. And I'm thinking it doesn't make a difference if you're camouflaged and wearing vision gear. The bottom line is animals have incredible senses. They can tell if you're there or not. So I'm thinking like, I'm gonna get sprayed by a skunk. I'm gonna track this crap into the house. But no, they went about their business, man. But it's kind of cool because at nighttime it's a whole nother world. So I was like, I gotta get some night vision cameras out here so people can see what goes on in my backyard. From my driveway, I have cameras out there, and it's traffic all day. I watch foxes. I see raccoons, and they don't fight each other. There's no fighting. They just walk right past each other like they know each other. It's weird. I'm telling you, it's freaking crazy. Like, okay, I know I'm going on and about this, but really quick because I really love nature. But I saw a fox walk up to my door on camera. Walk up, sniff around the door, and take off. Oh, man, it's beautiful. It's beautiful. I love nature. I do. All right, so let me get these jokers all taken care of downstairs. And I got my cats. This is what I buy for my cats right here out front. I want to make sure, I know they're going to be out in the street and all that. Somebody's probably feeding them too because they're pretty big. So somebody else is feeding them. But this right here is the best thing for them because this is actually going to be better for their immune system, keep them nice and healthy. So I had to make sure whatever cat food I got something that was basically going to be good for their digestive system. So I got them some cat food too. I got 2 of them that come up on the porch. Oh, and I keep forgetting. Now, don't get mad. I know crow boys get mad over this. I have crows in my yard. You've heard these things, right? I have big black crows that actually come into my yard from time to time. And I thought maybe the squirrels would be intimidated by the size of the squirrels, but no, they all eat together. It's the coolest thing, man. It's the coolest thing. It's like, man, I wish in some ways that what I see out there that people can actually get along like that. So they're trying to kill each other all day. All right, this is done right here. Let me get the cats taken care of too. So get that knocked out. So in the front right here, I got to be careful about leaving my door open. I actually, when I was talking to a friend outside, I had a bird come right near the front here. And I was like, don't do that. Please don't do that. He flew right into the house. I mean, right directly into the house. So it's a good thing I have the door here because I can just open up the door and they can fly right through. And I get them in the attic. Every once in a while, I'll get about 2 or 3 birds in my attic. So upstairs in my attic, I have water and I have food up there. Just in case, if I can't get to them or I don't hear them, I don't want them to starve to death upstairs, you know? So I leave the windows open up there. So, not the screen windows, so they can have some air up there because it gets pretty hot in the attic sometimes in the summertime. So I'll leave a bowl of water up there and I'll leave some food up there just in case if one of them get up there. Usually I'll hear them fluttering around up there making noise and I'll know, but at least it won't go hungry. I have to go up there and I'll check the water dish every once in a while because in the summertime it gets kind of hot up there and that water basically evaporates pretty fast. Finally, when I'm blessed to move to my new place, I'm going to do the same thing over there, but I'm going to build me a much bigger one. It's going to be really nice. I might do like a little hotel with the little lights outside, everything, put a bird bath out there. I'm going to do something pretty cool. All right, if they haven't eaten in a while, food was kind of late getting here for them, so let me get the cats fed first. The kitties, yeah, they got something to eat. Oh, I got a new family. So my bush is out front. I wanted to go lift my trash bag and put it over by near the bushes. And I heard a lot of chirping in there. I got new birds in my bushes. That's awesome. That's awesome. So now I'm going to put you guys over and get you guys ready. We'll do this painting. Go downstairs and feed my little knuckleheads. Got to go out there and I got to change out. I got a trough that I built for them. Built a trough to put their food in. And I got a water dish out there. And yes, they do drink from the water dish. It's pretty cool. Like I said. Let me my keys real quick. I leave my door over so once in a while you may see a little stray gray cat will come in here. Sometimes I leave the door open, let him come in, and he just goes as far as sniffs around a little bit. Get him a little familiar with the area. The black one right now, he don't trust me too well, but hopefully eventually I can get a chance to take care of both of them, get them off the street. Let me go grab this food right here and feed these jokers out back. Monsters fed. Don't put more food out here for them. They can eat for a while. I'm gonna make sure they got plenty. Fill that all the way up, make sure they got plenty of food. I'll be back. All right, sorry about that, people. This is about the longest conversation I've had with my neighbor next door. So, usually we don't even talk that long, but something new. All right, pretty sure Kitty didn't come in here yet. Nope, didn't come in. I'll leave this open. Turn these off. My lights out here. Squirrels are in the yard jumping around eating food. Happy, happy, happy. All right, so get out of my kicks. Let's get this started. I'm gonna get my material for the back of the screen. The last time I couldn't show you this because, like I said, the 92-inch screen didn't have any backing, but we're going to pad the backing of it. This one does have a backing in the back of it. That keeps the bar from basically leaving a bar imprint in the little screen. I have a hoodie on, I know shirt underneath. What the frick is going on with my line there? Okay, good bird. You do need breakfast in the morning. All right, let's get this done. Thank you all for being patient. I'll get a few things taken care of for the little ones out front. I'm taken care of. That's all. All right, so let me go get my old roller. Old Faithful. It's my old roller. Put that set it right there. Grab this right here. Like I say, you can use a bed sheet, scarf. Doesn't really make a difference. You just want to make sure you pad the back of the screen. It's funny when I lay this thing down. I don't know if some people like it. Doesn't look huge when I have it against the window, but when I bring this thing down, it's like, good gracious, that's the size of the screen you have for your freaking living room. Like, yes. I'm gonna turn this just a little bit here, like so you can see the back of it, right? All right, so. I bought 2 of these. So I bought, when I first was doing some of the screens, I bought 2 screens from Elite. I bought 2 of them. I bought, actually these are the 2 I bought right here. I got it right next to each other. So, that camera here. These are the 2 I bought. These are both Elite screens. That is the 100-inch, 106-inch borderless, and this is the 126 borderless. This is the 2 of them I bought. So this is what we're going to do. All right, so you see the bar right there? We're going to pad the back of the bar. Because what happens is when you paint your screen, when you press down on this bar, you're going to leave a bar imprint in the middle of your screen. I told you before. So what you want to do is take your fabric and double it up, tuck it behind the back of your bar, between the bar and the screen. Doesn't make a difference if you have a little bump in the front. That is not going to basically affect your screen at all. That bar will. So put that in the front like so. Now it's also too, if you go to your front out of wood, doesn't make a difference. If you got a support beam or rod in the middle of your screen, whether it be 4 or 5 or how big you may have it, how many you may have, you want to make sure that you have it padded, because you don't want to get that bar in the middle, that bar imprint, and that's an annoying thing to look at all day long, to see that imprint staring you in the face. Like, oh, I hate this. That's how it's going to be. All right, so I'm going to bring you guys over here. All right, and I'm going to basically screen position. Shuffle here, make sure that I didn't step on material. So that's what I want to do, is do a nice paint job, and then basically Get it in print in the middle. Make sure it's good. Okay, make sure that's tucked in there. All right. That's it right there. One thing I like about doing the oops, tripping over stuff already. The one thing I like about doing the border of the screens, there is no frog tape involved. You ain't taping up jack. You got a border. There's nothing there. That's what I love about painting these things. All right, that angle should be good. Okay, get some tape. I told you I had crows in the neighborhood. You hear it in the background? You hear that? Told you I had crows in my neighborhood. Big ones too. Pow, pow, pow. Stop talking. Stop talking. Crows. All right. Oh, baby. I remember I said it on camera a few times. I was like, yeah, I got crows near my house. And somebody said, oh, you just an ignorant person. I said, you're an idiot. Why would you call me an idiot? I said, because I literally have crows near my house. I pulled the camera to the side. So 3 big black crows sitting on my fence out there cacking and crowing and stuff. There we go. Got you guys in there just right. So what we have here is a projection screen. I'm just messing with y'all. I watch those all the time. I do. They kill a ton of my stress. A ton. Woo! Man, you almost bought it. Let me take the bottom too. You almost bought it. Boy, if some of you are watching this in VR, boy, this is not in VR applications anyway. I watch something that's not VR in VR anyway. So. I got so used to watching those relaxation videos so much that my friend, she has a really soft voice, and when she whispers, and even when she eats, it puts me to sleep. You ever heard of people who watch those, watch people eat and it relaxes them? Which is crazy, but you know, I don't know, mine's a crazy thing. So, you know, the way she eats, because she eats cereal every time we game, and she's like, Kenny, because I'd be snoring on the other end, I'd be knocked out. And I was like, well, don't eat. And whisper in the background, and I won't fall asleep on camera. I won't fall asleep. So as we're in there playing the zombie game and I fall asleep, you just see me sitting in the corner, just standing still, and somebody snoring in the background. That'll be me. But she's whispering because her son takes online classes, and she can't be in there yelling and screaming, and she has to whisper sometimes. And I was like, can you? This puts me right to sleep every time. All right, so there's our roller right there. We're going to do some blue today. Whee. So let's get this started. It's so nice without the interruptions. I'm doing this from now on. So I was just want to see what happened if I muted my comments. And I'm doing this from now on. It's so much peace. You know, I mean, I don't mind basically going back and forth with them sometimes, but it gets to be a headache after a while, and they're never going to grow up, so yeah. Okay, so let's go from here. Let's see. Pour some of this out. Yeah. Oh, shake that up a little bit. It's blue. Is it blue? It's blue. Is it blue? It's blue. Blue, blue, blue. All right. I like to do my corners first. Anybody knows what this is using my screen as a paint pan. Man, I'm listening to some Frank Sinatra today. I got Frank Sinatra stuck in my head, man. I love freaking Frank Sinatra. I love him. I can't play him now because, you know, it's licensed music. I would really like to play some Frank Sinatra right now while I'm doing this. Tonight. We got our corners done, that's good. It's something funny. So my buddy was laughing because I had one of the crew boys came in and said, "Oh, you got that Smurf screen." I said, "So you can see it's blue, right?" And I said, "That's good because I already thought I was the only one seeing it was blue, but thank you." Because I mean, that was a bit of a compliment for me right there because I'm thinking like, anybody else see it's blue besides me? No? That's good to know. Thank you for that acknowledgement. I was like, wait a minute. That's good to know. Colorblind or anything, but still, good acknowledgement that you can see it is blue. Let me get over here. Now, I won't be able to show you this drying and painting because it's a much bigger screen, so it's going to have to sit here on the floor. And then once it dries, hopefully, you know, it dries fast enough, but I'll have to do the hang up another part later. All right. Make sure I got all my areas done quite well. That's all. This will give you a good idea that you don't have to prime it. I mean, that some people think maybe I have to prime it. No, you have to prime it. Because usually when you have a screen going over, like a screen like this going over a black screen, people would think, okay, maybe I'll have to prime the surface first. But no, you don't have to prime the surface. Ooh. I got the screen dips in right over here. Make sure I got those areas done well. So still got more paint in my container. We haven't, I just put some of it out, but we haven't really gone through all the paint yet. So that more paint in my container over there. So let me grab some more paint. I got still more. I didn't even finish all this out yet. Woo! Woo! We haven't done the whole court yet. We're not finished the whole court yet. We're still got a lot in there to go. We're almost done. I can tell this is the last one we get out of this roller because this thing is basically, I can feel the cardboard pressing down. There is no more padding left in this roller, so yeah, it's on its last done, you know. So I got all my uses out of this one, so that's good, you know. Got a chance to use it multiple times, so that's good. Make sure I don't miss any areas, or if I have anything on the screen that maybe I'm projecting, because sometimes I'll have a little lint or dirt on me, and it'll end up on the screen sometimes. That's all. Make sure that everything's smoothed down because the paint on kind of heavy. But you know, as you can see, it's a 126-inch screen right here, and I was able to paint it with one quart. Even with a little left over, I'll show you. I'm going to empty some of this into an empty container. I'll show you. That's why I said when people tell me that, yeah, I painted the screen that I didn't have enough. You had enough. You had enough. Let me go grab me myself an empty container. And I like to pour over what's left after we do these demonstrations. So we'll see how much we got left for the container. After painting a 126-inch screen with a quart. And that's still going. So I'm going to set this up in the corner and let it continue to pour. It's going to pour for a while. So that's when people tell me that, hey, I didn't have enough to paint the screen. I didn't have enough paint. I'm like, what the world did you do with the rest of it? Did you? I don't tell them this because it'd be disrespectful, but in the back of my mind, I'm thinking, did you drink it? Did you bathe in it? What did you do? Now, I can see if they did a fabric surface, that I can understand. Because I don't know how anybody misses any of the demonstrations where I tell people, and it's specifications on the website explaining that if you do a fabric surface, you want to coat the surface with, it doesn't have to be primer, any kind of paint, whatever, because all you're trying to do is just get the surface to absorb in as much paint as it possibly can and put an even foundation that will allow you to apply art screen paint, and that way you wouldn't have any even spots or uneven spots or blots, or paint would absorb all your paint. So that's why we tell you to do that. But I have some customers who may have missed that point, you know, and have done that. And what we'll do is we'll basically help them out with that. So, but like I said, the videos are there. I had some people came in a little angry and upset, ranting about, hey, you know, I never saw that video. Here's a demonstration, right? This is why it's important to do all these demonstrations. Here you go. There you go. And I can show you every video I sit there and say, if you're going to paint a screen, make sure that it's primed first. Now, interesting, I'm having this conversation with you because the screen I'm actually using as my drop cloth is a 150-inch fabric screen. If you look at the back of it, you will notice that it's white because it was primed first before it was coated with our technology. Now, all this mess you're seeing all over because I'm using it as a painter's cloth now. But that's why we tell you to prime the surface first. Prime it, paint it, doesn't make a difference. It's gonna be orange, blue, green, whatever. As long as you get something to absorb in as much as you can. You got to kind of look at your fabric as a sponge. If you put a little water on there, it's going to absorb it. Now, if you soak that sponge in water, it can't take any more in at all. That's the whole purpose of basically prepping your foundation when you do fabric. That's all. All right, so we got the blue screen all painted. I'm going to start wrapping up here, get myself cleaned up a little bit here. We still got another screen to paint. So I still got the outdoor screen that I have to do for the outside demonstration. So I'm going to show you something here. All right. Hopefully I can get some put down for this. Technically, I don't want to paint this on that area like that. All right, so I don't want to mess up my floor, so we're going to use my styrofoam projection screen. I'll show you this in a few minutes. All right. So I got a special treat today. All right, so what we're going to do over here is bring it over here, and we're going to do my other screen. Now, this is the screen I got to do to for outside. So we're going to use whatever paint we have left over from painting our 126-inch screen, and we're going to coat this screen right here. All right, that's what I use outside for demonstrations. If you hear me breathing a little heavy, because I'm having an anxiety attack. But I learned not to play into these things. You know, it's all in my head. Something popped up, and I always go through these little nervous fits from time to time. Best thing to do is just ignore them. All right. Let me go get this measuring tape so we can measure this out right. Get this done. Yeah. All right. I'm gonna measuring tape. And get the size of this screen. I'm painting over here, corner to corner. So this is a 57-inch screen we're doing. All right, so it's a 57-inch. Doesn't look that big, does it? I mean, when I basically used to doing 100-inch screens and 200-inch screen, a 57-inch screen, it looks so tiny to me now. So there's a measuring tape from there. This is how you measure your screen across. This way, when you measure them, that shows you how big your screens are. You can measure them across. And there we are. We're at 57 inches. So it's a 57-inch screen. And we're going to paint. We already painted 126-inch already over there drying. So now we're going to take what we got left over from painting that from our container. We're going to paint this. All right. So from our paint, we have left over, it's about that much paint we got left over from painting the other screen. I'm going to see what I got left on my roller alone. Yeah, I got some on my roller. Yeah, it's not gonna be enough. Let's see how much we can get away with. How much we can get away with. Let's see. I'm just curious. Leave that right there. That's seat in there. See how much we can get away with. May have enough, we may not have enough. I don't know. I don't even know. To tell you the truth, we maybe may not. All right. Let's see what we get out of it. May have enough, may not, I don't know. So we get our roller around in there. If this was a edges. You may, I don't know. Just rolling around in there. Trying to see how much we can get to do this. take. Man, if we don't have enough, then, you know, no big deal, but still, gotta admit, that's a good amount left over. That's a good amount left over. So, do we have enough? We have enough. Barely was scraping the container. Scraping the container, people. Just have that little bit right there. Scraping the container. Can we do this on a scrape? This man is scraping the inside of a container. Yep. Yes, I am. Yes, I am. I can make more. I got more of it downstairs, but I need to see. If I'm a customer, I'm going bare minimum. How far can I get? Bare minimum. How much coverage can I get bare minimum? Oh, just a little bit more. That's all we need. I mean, they're scraping the insides of this, getting the bare minimum out of it. See what we can do here. Like you're mad, I tell you. Absolutely mad. It can't be done. I know we can do it. We know we can do it. We can scrape. We can get the bare minimum. We can do it. We can do it. We just have a little bit to go. That's all we got. A little bit to go right there. We got this. We got this. Seeing little peak areas in there that are bugging me. I need this thing to be. There we go. There we go. Yeah! Talking about scraping it to see exactly the bare minimum. You can do it. Yes. There we go, man. See, that's what I'm talking about. That's what you got to do, man. You got to basically, like I said, this is from the screen for basically me scraping. Don't do this. Don't do this. Please don't do this. But for me to figure out exactly like what's the bare minimum, how much can I basically get from that container, just picking it dry. Let's see what I can get from it. But I wouldn't advise you to do that, to tell you the truth. But like I said, just to see exactly how much coverage we can get out of it. And you got to know that. I wouldn't advise you doing that, but you do have enough. As you can see, this screen's 157. So, no, sorry, it's a 57-inch screen. So if you were to paint, I say a 40 or a 30-inch, you have more than enough to do it. This is 50. So even if it was 50, a 50-inch, I would have been able to coat this whole thing with a 50-inch. 57 was pushing it. It was definitely pushing it. But it just shows you, just from that little bit of paint that I scraped out of that container, how much of a coverage I can actually get out of that. So if I can get that much coverage out of that little bit of paint, just think what you can get out of basically just painting a regular 126-inch screen, which means you would have more than enough paint to do so. All right, so let's bring in my backup. This is my backup. to back up because I got to use this demonstration for outside. But that just shows you the bare minimum of basically all you would need to cover the surface. And you see that little bit of paint that I just put down? That was it. That's all I needed. That's all. Well, the surface is already painted anyway, so. But yeah, just to show you the bare minimum. If you're just going to bare minimum, if I had, this was a 50-inch, this would have been a real easy screen to cover. This wouldn't have been that hard, but like I said, you know, it's funny. I was thinking about that. You know, I think my battery's dying on my phone. Let me check something for a minute. I was thinking about that for a minute. I'll probably have people in the home theater world saying, "Oh, that's nothing but Smurf paint." Then I'll come and I'll blow out their $5,000 projection screen. Boom! Clean out of the water. It's called Barbie paint for all I care. It'll crush your screen with no problem. All right, let me see what we got going on here. We got, I need my charger. And I pulled cords and cables everywhere all over the place. So you can track down those chargers. Here we go. It's plugged into the power strip. Let's get everybody over here. For a minute, I should have took my stand with me, but right now I'm more concerned about power. All right, what we got going on? I am all over the place. I'm all over the place right now. Power. Let's see what we got going on over here. There we go. Come on, get in there. And we're not even plugged in. Wow. All right, that's cooking with all burners on. Let's see what we were at. Whew, 5%. We were low. All right, so as you can see, that's already painted and done right there. And that one is drying out right there. Now, I remember I had somebody say, well, are all those lines going to be in the screen? You see how, if you saw how this screen was painted, I used a sock to get in the corners and then basically just roll the screen in any direction I wanted. And that's the finished product right there. When it dries, it'll smooth out and it'll look like that. So the sizes that we have for the screen paint, when you paint them out, is 100 to 126 inch, which means you have more than enough paint from 1 quart to paint 126 inch screen. More than enough paint. That's why I say when I have people saying, well, I painted my fixed frame screen and I didn't have enough paint, I'm like, in the back of my mind, I'm like, did you drink it? Because you had enough paint. Because I had enough to, and I mean, I scraped the container and still was able, it wasn't a perfect paint over, it wasn't a perfect paint, and it wasn't, but it was coated. It was coated, and I would had enough to paint a 57 inch. And I left my roller on the side of my screen. And people are like, you know, you left your roller there, right? Doesn't make a difference. It's not going to damage the screen. Just roll right back over top of it. This would freak some people out. They'd be like, what the freak? Can't have that there. Can't have that roller there. Yes, I can. All I got to do is do this. That's it, done. Hey, Brandon, what you got on? Yeah, check out the visit the bracelets. Yeah, I got that thing stuck in my head now. All right, so we got that done. We got this done. We're done. All I got to do now is just let this stuff dry out. And here, grab myself a nice big hot cup of tea, sit out in the sun because I haven't had that window open in a while with some sunlight. And I'll bring y'all back in. Everything's all dried and dandy. And you can watch me rehang the screen and do a demonstration off of it. And then Today, we're going to be doing the outside demonstration, so that's what that screen's painted for. And that's going to be screwed and bolted down, not bolted down, but screwed down to the railing outside. And we'll go up there with the 1,000 projector at 13 feet back. I don't think I'll have a problem. I think I'll do quite well. Now, even though it does pass the test, does not mean that the paint is going to be launched anytime soon, because as I said before, we're locking this down. So once the attorneys and whoever I got to hire to get this job done, to get the, they call it a, oh man, I forgot the name of that freaking patent. Patent pending. Yeah, patent pending. The patent pending copyright and a trademark secret, which will be attached to it. If you guys are curious what trademark secrets are, basically it's like if you have a secret recipe that makes, you know, like Kentucky Fried Chicken, the oldest trademark secret in the world is actually Coca-Cola, their trademark secret. So say if we have a company who says that they want to basically recoat all their screens, it is easier for me to give them the ability to be able to make the product themselves. And that way they can basically coat, they have the factory and facility to paint hundreds and thousands of items or what they're going to use it with. But keep in mind, there is something called a trademark secret, which protects certain entities in the paint, and it keeps those things a bit of a secret. You know what I mean? It's like you'll know the ingredient, but there's other things in there that really make up the product itself. Without it, the product wouldn't exist. So that's the trademark secret. And then within those contracts, and these are really, really heavy contracts, if the patent pending is violated, copyrights are violated, you know what happens if you violate copyrights and patent pendings. It's the same thing if you have a patent, official patent, patent pending still carries the same weight. The same weight of a $250,000 fine or $500,000 fine. It's the same thing. So say if somebody were to go out and flash your label, they were to slander that label, or they were to go out and try to take the product down to Home Depot and make it, that is an automatic lawsuit from the door, right from the door. And that is a fine up to $250,000 to $500,000, depending on how much damage it. And you could also get jail time. So this is not only just for the hobbyists, but it's also to protect us from the bigger companies. Now, as I said before, I've made lots of screen paint, but that day sitting down there, watching that screen, the way it was reacting on that projector, I was like, there is no way in the world I'm launching this. Oh, heck no. I would be a complete idiot to do it. So that's when I got the phone and talked to a few people that I know, friends of mine that are attorneys, and they advised me what I need to do, steps I need to take it to the next measure to have it locked in, especially if we're going to be doing business with companies, and I'm pretty sure we are, because they're going to be quite curious about this blue screen, and they're going to know exactly how they can utilize it to give them an advancement over other companies. So that's why it has to be locked in. That's what all that stuff is for. It's not only for that, it's also to protect us from big companies. I walk into a big corporation, I give them this stuff right here, they'll reverse engineer this in seconds. They'll have somebody down here breaking this down and figuring exactly how it was made. They got the money to do it. So I have to be able to protect myself as I'm going in. So this stuff is a little bit more special. I'm gonna tell you, I'm in love with it. I am. Don't get me wrong. I always support black technology. I love black technology because this screen cannot produce a level of a black screen. But good God, the white levels and colors, even the fact that the screen pulls amazing contrast and it's blue. That's the part that had a guy tell me like, yeah, it'd be different. It was gray or black or whatever, but it's a blue screen. Yeah. All right, people. I'm relaxing now. I'm going to get myself a hot cup of tea, listen to a little Christian music, enjoy this sunlight coming through because it's been raining for the last 4 days. And I'm going to wait for the screen to dry. And once that all dries, you can watch me connect it to the wall. The Chrissy big boy will be on this one because that's my main projector. And then we'll do an outdoor demonstration today around 6 o'clock. All right. Thank you for joining me. I think it's Saturday, right? I think it is Saturday. All right. Thank you for joining me on a Saturday. Everyone be safe out there, and God bless.